I hear the same excuses from low-ranked players over and over. I'm in ELO hell, I top frag but my teammates suck, and my personal favorite, I could easily get a higher rank if I wasn't so unlucky. But look, if you're actually good enough to rank up but can't win games, there's probably a reason, and also a good chance that you don't want to hear it. What's up everybody? You already know that it's time for another ProGuides video. I'm Kangas, and today I'm talking about why you're stuck in lower ranks, and also some things that you can do to climb your way out. So hit that sub button, let's rip this band-aid, and get right into it.
Starting off, we're going to talk about why you might get a lot of kills in a game and still lose. This is where I'll introduce you to your new favorite word, impact. Impact determines how much you actually affected the outcome of the game, regardless of your stats. For example, it's possible to have more impact with 8 kills than somebody with 30. If those 8 kills were all from rounds where you win a clutch, and the guy with 30 kills gets most of his kills from anti-eco rounds while saving his gun while the bomb goes off, well, your 8 kills are way more important. Keeping this example in mind, you should be trying to focus on the amount of impact you have on a game, not the amount of kills you get. When I see somebody crying about how they got 35 kills on Dust 2 and still lost, I'll look through their demo and notice that they spent about 80% of their time T-side sitting in T-spawn with an op, only getting kills when the CTs push after taking out all of their other teammates. You might get fed a kill or two in that situation, but ultimately, you're gonna lose the round. You can't sit back and hope your teammates will do everything for you. If you really are the best player on the server, you need to take the initiative and drag your team across the finish line with an impact-oriented playstyle. So we're gonna go over some ways that you can play to have more impact, but if you want a more personalized review of your own game, you can go to ProGuides.com and have one of your demos analyzed by our expert coaches. And before we continue, it's time for our question of the day. Today's question is, what's the highest amount of kills you've gotten in a game? I honestly don't really remember mine, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten over 40 in a game or two, but let me know yours in the comments down below. This next section ties into what I talked about before, but we're gonna be a little more specific here. In order to have impact, you need to be in a position to open up the round for your team. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go in first and sacrifice yourself, but you do need to play more aggressively in order to carry. This first part is about you self-proclaimed lurkers and why your playstyle might be causing more harm to your team than good. In professional play, lurkers are creating misinformation on the other side of the map away from the rest of their team, and sometimes even getting kills on rotating players. However, this only works because in proper team play, there are actual tactics involved and the teams are constantly trying to read what the opponent is doing. In your matchmaking games, lurking doesn't really work this way because neither team is really playing like a cohesive unit. Playing this way in a solo queue environment often results in your team dying on the other side of the map, putting you in a nearly impossible clutch situation. You might get a few kills, but you won't win the round. This is one of the reasons you could be at the top of the scoreboard and still losing. So to combat this, go with your teammates and help them take map control. You don't have to go in first, just go in second or third so you can trade your teammates and still be alive when the bomb goes down. This way you can still get a lot of kills, but in a way that actually helps your team win the round. An entry kill onto a bomb site is way more impactful than getting 3 kills from T-spawn and losing the round, so try to focus more on the objective instead of the scoreboard. So now that you have a better idea of how to be more impactful on your T side, what about your CT side? The best way to have impact as a CT is to play positions that I like to call rotator spots. These are positions where you're constantly moving around the map and have a fast rotation to fight multiple points of attack from the Ts. A great example of a rotator spot is the arch side of middle on Inferno. Not only do you have vision of an area that the Ts frequently try to take control of, but you also have a fast rotation to the B bomb site. This way, if your teammates on B are feeling pressure and think that there might be a push coming, you can quickly go towards the B site to help them fight the oncoming rush. By playing these rotator spots, you can quickly move back and forth between the bomb sites and get a lot of kills. Some other rotator spots you can play include Connector on Mirage, Z Connector on Train, and Gravity on Overpass. If you truly believe you're good enough to rank up and want to carry your team, learn to play some rotator spots so you can be really impactful on your CT halves as well. Having impact doesn't always have to be about fragging out. In fact, there's a lot of ways that you can have impact without even taking an aim duel. Part of being a great Counter-Strike player is being a good teammate, since this game rewards strong team play. And there's a lot of ways you can easily support your teammates, even if you've never played with them before. One of the ways you can do this is by throwing good flashes for them. Well-timed flashes can set up your lesser skilled teammates for easy kills, even if you think they suck. Especially if you think they suck. My advice would be to try to learn 1 or 2 new flash lineups every day and use them in your games. Even in lower ranked games, a simple flash play can set your teammates up to get easy kills. If you aren't a big fan of using grenades, there's other ways you can set up your teammates for success too. If one of your teammates is just struggling to win aim duels, offer to boost them to a spot that the enemy won't expect. Using Inferno as an example again, you can boost a teammate on top of the porch in middle and play underneath them. By putting them in this advantageous position, you can fight middle with them, but also let them set up some kills since the enemy will likely notice you first and won't be able to adjust their aim in time. Sometimes if your teammate is playing badly, it might just be a mental thing and they aren't playing at their maximum level. So setting them up like this can give them a confidence boost, and who knows, maybe they'll start to play better. It might not seem like much, but being a good teammate goes a long way. Another important aspect of winning games is having good communication skills. In higher levels of play, giving your teammates the smallest piece of information can help them make a well-informed decision that can win your team the round.
100.
While the same concept might not apply in your Silver and Gold Nova games, it's good practice to communicate anything that you think might be important for your teammates to know. If you're not sure what's important to communicate or not, I recommend this communication guide by Maui Snake. He's an in-game leader who played at a semi-professional level and has some great insight on the topic. Another important aspect of communicating well is to avoid being toxic to your teammates. Having a negative attitude towards your low-fragging teammates, you can affect them mentally in a way that causes them to perform even worse. When your teammate is screaming at you for making a mistake and telling you that you suck, you likely won't feel motivated to play better. If you still need to rage, try to do it off the game comms. The voice chat in this game is push-to-talk for a reason after all. A good strategy that I like to use when I get really upset is to say the rude thing I was gonna say without holding the push-to-talk button, but then instead saying the positive things to my teammates in games like "nice try man" or "it's okay, we'll get next round." By showing a positive attitude towards your teammates, they might just be motivated to try harder and perform better. It sounds silly, but having a strong mentality is another important aspect of playing good Counter-Strike. If you're not in the game mentally, you might make poor decisions or miss shots that you wouldn't normally miss. You don't have to be wholesome and kind towards your teammates all the time, but try not to upset them if you can avoid it. If you've tried everything I've suggested and you're still not having any luck with teammates, it's time to start considering a pre-made queue. Having a set group of people that you can play with for the purpose of improving and ranking up is a great way to not only increase your chances of winning games and ranking up, but also give you a small taste of what it's like to play in a team environment. Even if you don't have any friends to play the game, there's still a couple of ways you can build up a pre-made group. The first strategy you can use is to build up a pre-made group by adding people in your games. If you ever get someone on your team that gets a lot of kills, communicates well, or is just a great teammate in general, add them on Steam and ask them to play with you sometime. If you play 2 games a day and manage to add 1 person per day, well, after 2 weeks, you'll have a list of 14 good teammates that you can ask to play with you on a regular basis. I used this strategy a few years ago, and not only did I rank up a lot playing with some of the guys I added, but I'm still friends with some of them today. Don't be afraid to add other people, because chances are they probably want to rank up just as much as you. And the other method you can use to get a group of people to play with is to use recruiting sites to find like-minded players. Some examples of this are teams.dg and even Recruits subreddit. On these sites, you can find other people who have similar ranks and goals as you. Whether you just want some friends to rank up with or find a team to play in leagues and tournaments, you should be able to find what you're looking for. Even if you're a bit skeptical of using these sites, I definitely recommend giving them a try. It's probably better than those bad teammates that you keep getting in matchmaking.
Look, the simple truth is that top fragging does not mean you are by default better than your teammates. There's a lot of other concepts behind winning rounds and games, so hopefully this video allowed you to gain a better understanding of why you might be struggling to actually carry your way out of those lower ranks. And if you did learn anything today, remember to like and subscribe to the video and hit that bell button so you don't miss our new uploads from the ProGuides team. That's it for today, so best of luck on the grind, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.